Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. Okay, stop the music. Yeah, I know. I just threw you right into it today because I don't know. My little rolling sun thing, I didn't feel like doing it. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P Dog Night, and the P Dog Night channel. Happy Thursday. It's November 7th, 2019. And I woke up to, oh my God, what's going on? The hell's going on with my stream right there? It is, oh, you know what? God damn it. I gotta fix this, guys. I'm sorry. I have to fix this. We'll be back in a minute. I'm having a serious technical difficulty. Now you can probably hear me, but still, is this blinking like it is on here? Holy crap. Hang on. I'm having a major technical gift. This is a YouTube problem. This can't be my, my mic. I know. Let me check something on here. Is it doing the same thing? Oh, okay. It's not doing it to you. I did unmute the mic. Okay, so it's just me. It's just my studio. I thought I was blinking on and off. Am I blinking on and off to anyone there? Let me know in the chat. Audio okay. No video issues. All right. Well, my studio is just blinking on and off. So I just want to make sure. If you guys can see me okay, I am fine. I just don't know if we're getting streaming issues or not. It's really weird. Okay, not here. Looks good. Everyone says it's fine. All right, well, there you go. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P Dog Night, on what's today? Thursday, November 7th, 2019. And I'm baffled why my studio is going on and off. So as long as it's working for you guys, I don't care. I'm going to stop looking at that because it's going to drive me nuts. I'll just open a different window here if I need to see what I'm doing. Okay, this is fine. Okay. FTG. I don't know who those guys are, but somebody there is messing me up in the YouTube studios. And then it says YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. But apparently I am, and I'm not showing anything down here. So, okay, we're good. We're good. We're just going to go. Tell you what, let's say a quick good morning to everybody, because, I don't know. Della Hayes here first today. I am so happy that you're here. You get the bell. And good morning, C. Thomas, Chi-Town J, Diesel Dave, Jaeger Pony, Grillin' Pirate Pete, the gayest person on YouTube. How gay is that? Tyler F, Pincalo, the driving ape man, Duck Dog, and Lindsay's here. Good morning, Lindsay. Good morning, Straight Sith Male, RVA, Green Badger Outdoors. Holy smokes, a lot of people in here today. I am loving it, but not like McDonald's. Anyway, so it is FTG Thursday. I know you all are quite familiar with how that works, and the people who are here are most of the people who know what I'm talking about when I say FTG. So if anyone new pops in the chat, we'll just have to explain to them what FTG is. So before we do, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. Rather than shill, I want to play you my outro because I want to make sure that people who I if you didn't notice, if you don't watch my outro, if you kind of just go away as soon as it goes, I try to thank people in my outro from the last month who've been doing the super chats and things like that. Plus, everything that I say in my shill is in this outro. So I'm going to play the outro one. So don't think I'm closing the show. I'm just playing it so that you can see it. And wait. Not sure I like the way that sounded. Grillin' Pirate Pete, the gayest person on YouTube. Oh. Okay, let me try that again. Grillin' Pirate Pete, good morning. And good morning to the gayest person on YouTube. Who are both here. All right. I mean, judging some makeup bloggers, pretty freaking gay. Though I came out of the closet as straight a while ago. Okay, all right. I'm not sure how that all works, but hey. So anyway, so here's my shill for the day. I'm going to do it in outro form. Don't leave me here. And if anyone jumps in the chat going, why is he playing the outro? It's because I'm also going to use it as a commercial day. So here you go. Here's my shill for the beginning of the show. Here we go. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely love to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. And all right, there you go. So that's the outro. I just want to make sure that every once in a while, if you look through there, I change the thank yous periodically because they change it probably once a month. And I do also, I change my outro every once in a while too. The question, what park is that? It's a couple different parks. These are out in the Cascade Mountains in near Portland, Oregon. The falls where we were eating lunch, where you can see the waterfall behind me, is Multnomah Falls in I think it's just northeast of Portland. And then there was just several waterfalls in that area. It's three different waterfalls. So there you go. So anyway, and that is from my trip when my son graduated from college. He decided that we said we'd take him on a trip for his graduation. He said, we said we would pay for a trip for his graduation. And he decided that he wanted to drive down the West Coast. So we flew to Portland. We rented a car and we drove from we stayed in different towns along the way, drove from Portland to San Diego, with stops in San Francisco, Los Angeles, We also stopped at the University of Oregon. We stopped at a bunch of different places, but those were the main stops we stopped at. And then once we got to San Diego, we drove from San Diego to Las Vegas, where 5 of his friends flew out to spend the weekend with him. And Lady Boomer and I got our own Airbnb and hung out in Vegas for the weekend until we came home. So that was the beginning of the trip when we were in Portland. If my other outro I used to have was just me riding the cable cars in San Francisco. So although now, in my lovely home state of Minnesota, where I've lived for just over 30 years, it was 22 degrees this morning when I left for work. And then it got to 18 by the time I got home from work this morning. And there is snow on the ground. It's freaking November 7th. Now, it's not the earliest we've had snow, but holy Christ, please. I'm just saying, more proof of global warming. Excuse me, I have to take a sip of my reparations coffee because it's cold. Although we have, for those of you on the coast, we do have heat in the homes in this part of the country, so it's not so bad, okay? Most of the buildings are heated. And we do just fine in the cold winter weather. Anyway, but when out of curiosity, Green Badger Outdoors, does anything that Green Badger have anything to do with being near Wisconsin? Just curious, because Grandma, my kid's grandma, has a cabin in, where's the town? Near Webster, Wisconsin. So if you know where that is, I also have some great shots from there. So anyway. Enjoy your snow. Snow is only nice on a postcard. Well, unless you're trying to go skiing. By the way, good morning, MC. Hammer time. All right. All right. No, I actually, okay, here's the thing, by the way. Snow is great if you're doing stuff that you want to do that requires snow. So sledding, skiing, snowmobiling, stuff like that. It's the cold that sucks. I wouldn't mind having snow, a lot more snow. I don't mind the snow, but it's so freaking cold sometimes. Anyway, good morning, Functional. Hello. I'm glad you're here also. All right. But yeah, I don't mind snow. It's just I don't like the bitter cold, and there are times in this lovely state that I live in where it gets bitter freaking cold, and I just don't like that. But again, it's too early to be this cold. Although we did, look, when I was in, was it 91? There was a blizzard here on Halloween, where we got like 34 inches of snow. A little drizzle of snow that we have right now is not so bad. All right. Okay. And I was having a boomer talk. Yeah, that and my dad had a pet badger when he was a kid. Ooh, I don't know about that, man. Hey, I'm not complaining. Functional. All right. That look was for you. All right, let's get into FTG Thursday. By the way, before I move on, thank you Tyler F and G Prime and wait, what's the heart? Who's the heart? Somebody with a heart. It says, oh, okay. I see. And thankless. Oh no, thankless G Prime. Oh, for retweeting the show out this morning. The heart is through the like. Duh. I'm dumb. A deglanded skunk as a pet. Oh, wow. Now that is, that's interesting. I suppose if you had, I suppose if it's deglanded, it's not going to stink. And skunks are actually fairly friendly animals. The skunk handlers in the zoo, you'd think, oh gosh, how can they do that? But if they're deglanded, yeah, I suppose. Anyway, all right. So it is FTG Thursday. I've got a few things bookmarked today that I really wanted to highlight, and not necessarily FTG. In fact, one of them, a couple of them are really cool things. One of them. Now, this is fast. Now, some of this is stuff that I just hadn't gotten to either earlier in the week or a few days ago. For example, this one right here. I just want you to take a look at this. What the hell? Come on. Oh, okay. I see that there's a link. Apparently, authorities restrict many private vehicles from taking to the roads of India's capital amid a public health crisis. They're having a real problem. Now, we're always talking about how dare you, Greta Thunberg and the climate people who are coming over to lecture the people in the United States for, our economic growth and not talking enough about climate change. But there's an issue. There's a little problem going on in India that we seem to forget sometimes. India's capital restricts cars as people choke in dirty air. Authorities restricted many private vehicles from taking to the roads of India's capital on Monday amid a public health crisis that has left New Delhi residents gasping and their eyes burning from toxic air pollution. The odd-even scheme will restrict private vehicles with odd-number license plates to driving on odd dates, while even-number plates are allowed on even-numbered dates. It was begun days after authorities began emergency control measures and ordered the closure of schools as pollution levels reached a 3-year high. Now, it's kind of like especially in some of these hot climates where it's humid, and India has tons of, God, see, Thomas. India has too many people. They need a Thanos. Okay. Or Thanos, whichever you prefer. I prefer Thanos, but that's because that's how I read it when it was in the comic books. The odd-even scheme will restrict private. Okay, I already said that. The state-run Central Pollution Control Board's air quality index for New Delhi was severe at 436, about 9 times the recommended maximum. Some of you are probably old enough to remember how many times there would be smog alerts like in Los Angeles or a lot of the coastal cities, particularly Los Angeles, because the way their air circulates around the valley there, it would just leave just clouds of just smog all over that city. And in the 70s, especially when you didn't have the more efficient exhaust systems in cars and things like that. Now, I've been ever since I discovered that some of my family lives in California, I've gone out there quite a bit, and you barely get those smog alerts anymore. They occasionally, but nothing like this picture here. Now, where's this picture of well, see, now the picture is gone. So here's the picture. You can see how bad that is. But it seems that perhaps they need to, maybe Greta Thunberg needs to travel to India and talk to them about the greenhouse. I'm pretty sure this smog that you're looking at in this picture, I'm sure some of that has to be, has some high levels of CO2 in it, I would guess. Whereas, where the United States has been reducing our CO2 output. Now, we're not, the idea that we're going to get to net zero carbon emissions in the amount of time that they demand, not going to happen. I'm sorry that you're not going to stop all combustion engines. Sorry. I am a classic car buff. I don't want the classic cars off the road. I want to see that 67 Chevelle and the 64 Suicide Continental and the 72 Barracuda on the roads occasionally, right next to my Ford F-150, which is much more obviously exhaust friendly. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of cities in that part of the world that look like this. Green Badger, I see you've seen pictures from China look this way. And you know what? They need to... I'm not panicking because of the climate crisis, because if it's not a crisis, they can't tell you what to do. But they do need to take care of air quality just for the people to live there. And we've been successfully doing that in the United States. You're not seeing the smog alerts that you get. Now, there have been, for example, here in the Twin Cities, even we've had air quality alerts because the combination of high pollen counts and pollution, can create those issues. But man, nothing like over there, so to speak. All right, moving on. This is funny. David Burgess, he's Iowa Hawk blog. Willie Taggart buying from Florida State University comes around to his buyout, it should say, comes to around $17 million and will be the second largest buyout in college history. Charlie Weiss was paid $18.9 million to leave Notre Dame. Oh my God. You know how much you have to hate your football coach to pay them that much to leave? Oh my gosh. Can I get an FTG, not just for those coaches, but also for those schools right now? I'm sorry. How do you have a contract where they have to pay you $17 million to leave? Good morning, Richo. How you doing? And so I thought it was funny that Dave Burge says by 2030, 5% of U.S. GDP will be the unemployed college football coach sector. Okay, I found that humorous. All right, moving on. Now this is interesting because you're getting all this news about Ukraine and all the stuff that's going on. So this is just an interesting set of what's that? This is a little interesting just set of a story in 4 parts because this guy Ian Bateson says covering Ukraine is watching things you reported months to years earlier suddenly being discovered and misreported months later, labeled as exclusive and breaking by U.S.-based reporters. So here's a story in 4 parts by someone named Dusty Geibel. And the first headline here, Rudy had secret meeting with Zelensky's rival too. The meeting took place just around the time when the president's lawyer began expressing interest in conspiracies about Ukraine's role in the Mueller probe. Okay, now that's the first story. Here's the part 2 of this story. I guess Yulia Tymoshenko was in town. She met with Giuliani and Adam Schiff. Assume it's courting season now that she's a presidential candidate again. Now, so this is the picture, and this is from, look at the date of this. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The date on this story here, Rudy had a secret meeting. The date of this published November 1st, 2019. Okay? So that's when he was meeting with, what's that? Tymoshenko. Okay? Now, secret. Note the word secret meeting. Giuliani had a secret meeting with the rival, and that rival's name is, again, Yulia Tymoshenko. I guess Yulia Tymoshenko was in town. She met with Giuliani and, what's that name? What? She met with Giuliani and Adam Schiff. Assume it's courting season now that she's a presidential candidate again. And here's the picture. What's the date of this? December 9th, 2018. The secret meeting where the picture with her right there, and apparently she met with Adam Schiff. Now let's look at the next one. This Giuliani-Tymoshenko meeting wasn't a secret, as the Beast headline suggests. The meeting was publicized by... oh, wait. Okay, hang on. This was... the first one is... yeah, okay, anyway. Moving on. Oh, this is just him tweeting. Was it a secret meeting, as the Beast suggests? The meeting was publicized by Tymoshenko and her party, which published a statement and a photo of the two together. Moreover, the meeting took place not on December 5th, as the Beast wrote, but on December 7th. So here it is. This What? Okay, that's this. Rudy was talking to Ukrainian political figures about U.S. aid as far back as December 2018, the same time when he says he got interested in the conspiracies about the origins of the Mueller probe. Here's a picture of him with Timoshenko. And with old pencil neck himself, Adam Schiff. Quite the secret meeting. They published pictures of them together. Wow. That's a pretty secret ass meeting. And here's the last one. The article also refers to the Ukraine in a sentence, just saying, yeah, the Beast Inc. deals in the Ukraine. No, it's Ukraine, not the Ukraine. So anyway, FTG to the reporters who tried to slip that one by you. All right. Okay. Yes, FTG Adam Schiff also, just because we can. Just because we can. FTG Adam Shifty, whatever. By the way, did I mention that you can do super chats using the Streamlab link down below? Alrighty then, let's move on. Oh, this was cute. I just thought this. I stopped this because it was funny. Because cats are funny, and apparently, here's the thing. Okay, so the other, I think it was it Monday night? It was Monday Night Football, and the New York Giants were winning the football game against the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't know, not necessarily Halloween related, but I thought it was fantastic that we had this little animal all over the field, and the cat decided to just hang out on the field a little bit. So there we go. Here we go. Oh, what did I do there? Come on. Oh, come on. Okay, this. I was gonna say FTG, but let's just skip it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Hey, you know what we need? You know what we need, people? Do you know what we need? I think we need some funk. Because shit just ain't working right. Let me see if my dashboard's still blinking on and off. Y'all haven't had any problems? If y'all haven't had any problems, I'm just gonna pretend it's not happening. Let's go. Let's add some funk to the whatever this is. What is this thing? Hey, instead of funk, let's try something different today. Let's go with how about, should we go Latin? Let's do a little merengue, urban Latin. What is urban Latin? Let's try urban Latin today. How's that sound? We'll get ethnic today. I don't want to be, of course, I may be accused of what is it? Cultural appropriation. But I'm going to take that chance for you because, except I want something that's just, let's try this. Whoa, dang. Sorry, headphones users. That was probably shocking. Let's see how this goes. Oh, you can't even hear it anyway. Nope, that has, I want instrumental. I want instrumental. Here we go. Okay, this will work. That'll be the style. Now let's go, yes, all instrumental. Okay. There we go. We're going to go Latin today. Here we go. And you can let me know how the volume level is. Hopefully that's not too loud. You should be able to hear me okay. Except I can't hear myself because I have my headphones up too high. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can find this cat. All right, there's the cat. I'm going to see if we can put it back on the screen now. Here's the cat running around at the football game. Poor little kitty got caught on the field, and they're trying to chase it. But here's the problem. It was a black cat. I'm not being racist. It's a black cat. And the New York Giants at the New York Giants stadium. And the New York Giants were winning the game up until the time that this cat came onto the field and walked across their path. And you know what happens when a black cat walks across your path? It's very bad luck. And the poor New York Giants went on to lose the game that they were winning. So there you go. All right, moving on. That's just dumb. Okay, here's one of those play stupid games, get stupid prizes. I got a couple of these, and this is what FTG Thursday is all about. And unfortunately, I thought it should be a Florida man story, but this is a Georgia man story. Georgia man was shot and killed in a Waffle House after using racial slurs. I think I got a couple FTGs in one story right here. A Georgia man who used racial slurs and got into a fight with his targets was then shot and killed by one of them, authorities say. Nicholas Finazzi Bryan was inside a Waffle House. This is a Florida story, it's a Georgia story, a Waffle story, and all kinds of things. He was inside a Waffle House in Jackson Thursday night when he began using racial slurs towards two men and was asked to leave the restaurant by staff. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation said Bryan and one of the men got into a physical fight, and the second man fired a gun, hitting Bryan. The GBI said he was transported to a nearby hospital where he later died. The GBI said Jackson is about 15 miles southeast of Atlanta. The Butts County Sheriff's Office 911 Center received 3 calls about the incident that night, the GBI said. The first call was regarding an irate customer. The second call was regarding a fight, and the third call was regarding shots fired, all of which were within several minutes. The agency said by the time the officers arrived, Bryan had already been shot. The GBI did not say whether anyone has been charged. So, yeah, you know, I don't believe in killing people for using racial slurs, but you know, there's not a but to that. Don't shoot people who use words that hurt, may hurt your feelings, but don't physically hurt you. But again, also maybe just don't say stupid shit in the wrong places and avoid the fight, right? Some people get really, 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 really sensitive and irate about that. Why is this going? Okay, what is that? Okay, I closed that. That's probably what's causing some of my problems here. Okay, moving on. Apparently there was a joint statement by the DOJ, the Department of Defense, Department of Homeland Security, something DNI, FBI, NSA, and CISA on 2020 election security. Oh, good God. Good morning, Maddie. And Sheograth, hello. Apparently, Russia, China, Iran, and other foreign malicious actors all will seek to interfere in the voting process or influence voter perception. This is a joint statement from all these departments of Homeland Security. Attorney General, here, let's see if this will get bigger. Attorney General William Barr, Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Kevin McAleenan, Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire, FBI Director Christopher Wray, U.S. Cyber Command Commissioner and NSA Director General Paul Nakasone, and CISA Director Chris Krebs today released the following statement. Today, dozens of states and local jurisdictions are hosting their own elections across the country, and less than a year from now, Americans will go to the polls and cast their votes in the 2020 presidential election. Election security is a top priority for the United States government. Building on our successful whole-of-government approach into securing the 2018 elections, we have increased the level of support to state and local election officials in their efforts to protect elections. The federal government is prioritizing the sharing of threat intelligence and providing support and services that improve the security of election infrastructure across the nation. They're in an unprecedented level of coordination. The United States government is working with all 50 states and U.S. territories, local officials, and private sector partners to identify threats broadly and share information information to protect the democratic process, we remain firm in our commitment to quickly share timely and actual information, provide support and services, and to defend against any threats to our democracy. You know what? Good God. I would read the rest of this, but you know, I don't know. Really, unless there's serious interference in voting, do they just think we're fucking stupid? Really? I mean, fine. Be diligent in protecting our voting infrastructure. If you're gonna judge by the 2016 election, some of the so-called Russian Facebook ads, I think we're going to be okay. They don't really understand us very well. And you know what? They still haven't quantified how many votes were changed. So anyway, they continue. Our adversaries want to undermine our democratic institutions, influence public sentiment, and affect government policies. Russia, China, Iran, and other foreign malicious actors all will seek to interfere in the voting process or influence voter perceptions. Adversaries may try to accomplish their goals through a variety of means, including social media campaigns, directing disinformation operations, and conducting disruptive or destructive cyber attacks on state and local infrastructures. While at this time we have no evidence of a compromise. No evidence. Wait a minute. So, interesting. While at this time, we have no evidence of a compromise or disruption to election infrastructures that would enable adversaries to prevent voting, change vote counts, or disrupt the ability to tally votes, we continue to vigilantly monitor any threats to U.S. elections. You know what they could do if they're really serious, and I know they're doing this in some states? Go back to paper ballots, okay? Go back to paper ballots. Yes, you can use, like in Minnesota, we have paper ballots. And they go through a scanner, so they count them through a scanner so they can tally votes really quickly. Then if there's any question afterwards, all they have to do is unlock the thing and pull out the paper ballots and say, boom, here, let's count these by hand. Okay? I've never understood the voting machine thing anyway. Oh, you're going to go to a voting machine and tap, tap, tap. Anybody can fuck with that, right? Your local parties can fuck with that. Someone at the, some of the people who work at the polling stations can fuck with that. But I don't know the term, something about protecting our democracy. You're not protecting our democracy. Our democracy is not in danger. Okay? We have so many checks and balances. It's funny because I heard this the other day again about Trump the totalitarian. Okay, please, anybody can, and I know, unfortunately, I know there's no one in my chat who says this. Oh, hey, Green Thunder Mighty, how you doing? And Jaeger Pony, good morning. And who else popped in? Okay, I think I got everybody. Hey, can anybody tell me, give me an example of how the current president, or even Obama, I mean, I know Obama did a lot of executive orders, but can anyone explain to me what makes, because I heard that sometimes with Obama too, that he's trying to be a dictator, and and with Bush before him, they're trying to be a dictator, they're totalitarian, and you hear it especially with Trump. Give me an example of how he's been a totalitarian. Yes, he complains a lot about the media. Has he thrown any media people in jail? Nope. Has he had anyone shot who disagrees with him? Nope. He just tweets at them. Has he written laws bypassing Congress on actual laws? Okay, now I know he's bypassed them on how to use some Department of Defense funds and whatnot, but he did that legally. The court said the way he did it was fine. But has he changed any laws by executive fiat? Nope. And in fact, he's undone some of the executive orders that happened during the Obama administration. And the courts are fighting. which is amazing, especially with like DACA. Okay. I'm sorry, I just read Shiagrath's comment about only Lewinsky was trying to be a dictator. No, I said dictator. And I don't mean Orida, okay? If you know what, some of you might not know what Orida is, depending on where you live in the country. Is Orida nationwide? The potato company, the frozen potatoes, whatever. Anyway, all right. Nobody. The next person, I swear to God, the next person that says that or tweets it or whatever, I'm there. I'm gonna be like, I'll be clicking away, going, hey, oh, what the hell happened there? Okay, that wasn't my. I forgot that I actually had my keyboard connected. Okay, that was that a boomer moment or is that just me being silly moment? Anyway, back to my bookmarks. Okay, let's see, where was I? But can anyone, how is Trump a dictator? Anybody? Dictator. Hey, hello, Gulf City Cult of Krill. How you doing? Or Cult of Krill, I should just say, even though we added the Gulf City to it. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know how he's a dictator. No idea. And my shit's still blinking over here. Anyway, all right, I'm just going to stay away from that. All right, so anyway, that's the joint statement that we're going to protect our integrity of our elections. Thank you very much. We're going to... Okay, here's a new one for you guys. And I got this from my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is hilarious, okay? And he, every once in a while, we'll be somewhere and someone will be talking and he'll start going... I'm going to let you figure out what that is. I'm going to do the next story and then we'll talk about it afterwards. By the way, let's see what else we got here. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you. Shiagrath sent me. Okay. This is awesome. Oh, the memes are getting good. Oh, yes, we're going to do some. Yes, thank you, Shiagrath, for the Epstein meme. We'll get to that in a minute. All right. Thank you, Maddie, for tweeting out the show. I appreciate it. Oh, and also we have a super chat. Yay! From C. Thomas, donated $1. Super chat through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, just in case you want to participate. C. Thomas says, all the spooks saying foreign powers want to affect our elections. Sounds like the spooks don't want competition. And no one questioning narratives. Also, totalitarians merely bitch about things instead of acting, guys. Award-winning journalism, y'all. He didn't say y'all, he said guys, but I said y'all, because that's also gender inclusive. And guys, see, okay, so I'm seeing that C. Thomas either lives in the Midwest or the East Coast or the West Coast, where everyone says guys as a gender neutral term, as opposed to y'all, which they say in the South. I always just get so pissed off when someone says, "Don't say you guys. That's just you're being not being gender inclusive." Bullshit. Okay, if you don't want to attract attention to yourself. Because you have your own gender thing going on, which is fine. But guess what? In the Midwest, the Midwest, the East Coast, and the West Coast, people use guys as a gender neutral term. So if you complain about it, then you're only drawing more attention to yourself rather than just going along with the flow. And in fact, the only transgender person that I personally know says you guys all the time. So there you go. That's... Just stop it, please. All right, moving on. Back to my bookmarks. Where was I here? So this is a story that makes me happy, and there's definitely no FTG on this one because this is actually a great story. Patriots rookie Joejuan Williams estimates he invests 90% of his game checks. Here, I'm going to put this out. I'm going to read the articles. This is a great article. And I wish every professional athlete would think this way and learn about money because can I read the full article? I might not be able to. Oh, I can. Good. All right. So Joejuan Williams still remembers learning about mutual funds in a personal finance class he took as a junior at Father Ryan High School in Nashville. I just raised my hand and was like, "So you're saying we could sit on money and watch it grow?" Williams, now 21, recalled. My teacher was like, basically, yes. And I was like, bet, sign me up. Williams has always been a saver, even as a kid growing up in public housing. When his mother would give him and his brother DeAndre $5 apiece to buy food at McDonald's, DeAndre would use all $5. Williams would spend only $1 and pocket the other $4. Whatever money came his way, no matter how much or how little, Williams saved it. He stored any cash he had in a shoebox in his bedroom. He opened his first bank account once he landed a job in high school, working for his cousin who owned a used car lot. The gig earned Williams a steady $300 per week, sometimes with an added bonus if he drove cars back to Tennessee from out-of-state auctions. How he handled the money was just as important to him as the bills themselves. After watching his mom live paycheck to paycheck, Williams had developed fears of inadequacy and financial instability. "I've been stingy with money ever since I was young, just because I saw what my mom had to go through," he says now. So he saved and saved and saved. But saving money to earn more money, that was something new. Taught by one of the assistant football coaches, Greg Carson, the personal finance class at Father Ryan introduced Williams to the basics of investing and retirement planning. He learned about hedge funds, 401k plans, certificates of deposit, and Roth IRAs. He learned how to budget and how to file a tax return. File a tax refund. He learned, most importantly, how to make smart choices. "It changed my life," Williams said. "It completely changed my life." From there, Williams went on to study economics at Vanderbilt and continued to research and pursue his interest in money management. Now on a 4-year, $6.6 million NFL contract, he hired a financial advisor, a careful decision that required multiple interviews and references. His cash flow has obviously multiplied since washing used cars for his cousin, but his approach to money has evolved. Instead of save, it's save and invest, save and invest, save and invest. Williams estimates that at least 90% of the money that comes via game checks, he invests at least 90% of the money that comes via game checks. That portion from the first few was a bit lower because he paid off his mom's student loans and bought her a car. Other than that, however, expenses are limited. Now, this is something I wish everyone would learn, okay? "I'm going to sacrifice now for me to be happy later," Williams says. "I can go and buy a really nice car. I can buy me a really nice house if I wanted to. I can go buy me a really nice chain, multiple chains if I wanted to, but that's not going to suffice for me when I'm 40, 50, or 60 years old. Who knows when I'm going to need that bread?" Turned off by the concept of spending money he doesn't have, Williams hates using his credit card, although he recognizes the importance of building credit. The rare times he does indulge, he ensures he has the money to immediately pay off his purchases. Wow, man. This is one of those financial literacy things. Now, this kid grew up poor. Now, it's going to be different for people who maybe aren't so lucky to have $6.6 million a year, but anyone can learn this. When he sees something he might be interested in buying, whether it's clothes or shoes, Williams will wait 2 days before pulling the trigger. And usually the time spent thinking will change his mind. But there's one thing that has always been on his radar. "My main goal is I'm going to give my mom a home," Williams said. "I've had that ever since I was a kid. I told my mom that when I was a kid, the only big purchase I have my eyes on." Given New England's tremendous depth in the secondary, Williams, drafted 45th overall, hasn't seen the field much this season, though there's intrigue surrounding his potential. Regardless of the upside of his career trajectory, Williams, who was inactive Sunday night against the Ravens, is prepared for the unknown. Now, he may not even... NFL players, I don't think you know this, but most NFL players only play for 2 to 3 years because they get. It's amazing that you think, the star players are around forever, but a lot of the players are just there and gone. You don't even realize they were there and gone sometimes. In the history of this league, there's a higher chance that you'll never see a second contract, he said. If you're spending so much money, like, I'm going to make it back next year, I'm going to make it back the year after that. If it doesn't happen, then you're back at square zero. One day, Williams hopes to set up a formal financial literacy program, which I wish they taught in every school in America, so he could impact the knowledge from the class that first sparked his interest in money back in high school. He still remembers the differences in responses when he tried to talk to his friends about what he learned from Mr. Carson. His friends from home would brush off the ideas, arguing it's too late to get started. His friends from Father Ryan, on the other hand, would say their parents have already set up various accounts on their behalf. I have a head start in this race, Williams said. For a lot of public schools in inner cities, it's not required to take any personal finance classes to graduate or even learn about money in that sense. That's not the real world. The real world revolves around money. It really puts a lot of inner city kids who don't have much at a disadvantage. In the meantime, Williams will continue to lead by example. I want to be set in the future when I'm not working, he said. Grind now, sacrifice now, be happy later. I'd rather live like a prince for the rest of my life than live like a king for my NFL career and then go back to square zero. So, I think this is awesome. I wish every kid in America could hear this, rich, poor, or whatever. I think that's awesome. So, instead of an FTG, how about an LTG for Joe Juan Williams? And meaning, hey, love that guy. That's awesome. So I just love that story, and I just had to save that and read that one out. So, all right, moving on. What else we got? And here it is. This is Joe Juan Williams himself. When it comes to financial literacy and investing, people from the inner city are at a disadvantage for many reasons, but education is the biggest. My mission is to help educate our inner cities about the importance of saving and creating generational wealth to change their family tree. Love it. That is so awesome, I think. All right, next one. Oh, this is kind of wild. Check out this. So these kids, let's see if I can make this big. So these kids, a constrictor got their dog, and the kids, look at this. How about that? Wow. I'll put that one in the chat, I think. Let me see if I can find it now. Hang on. Let's see. Anyway, the chat was Tom Thuggett. These kids are way tougher than I am. Not all heroes wear capes. The things we do for our dogs, bruh. Here, I'm going to... If you want to watch that one again, I'll throw it out in the chat. Some gutsy kids taking care of that snake. That snake was about to have some dog for lunch. That thing's about a 15-foot python, maybe longer than that, 20 foot. That's a long freaking animal. And these kids are smart, man. It's amazing. All right, back to here. Okay, now we're gonna get into a few funnies today, and this was my favorite of the day. Apparently, we've been rewriting some movies, and so this is a classic scene from what's this? I think is this from Pulp Fiction? Yeah, no. This is from what is this from? This is from Die Hard. One of the Die Hard movies. Anyway, it's a very important scene, and I think, but it's very poignant when thinking about what's happening in the United States. I think this scene is indicative of some of the struggles that we go through in American life. So I just want to show you this scene real quick. I'll probably get a strike for it, but I don't care. Just here we go. Watch. This is a famous scene with Samuel L. Jackson. Here we go.
Uncle, you better come look at this.
What?
There's a white man standing in the street.
I seen one.
Not like this.
Dial 911. Tell the police to get up here quick. Somebody's about to get killed.
Yes, it is the Epstein didn't kill himself memes. This is the only thing I can think of right now. Yeah, Die Hard 3, right. If you haven't already noticed, the Epstein didn't kill himself meme is the new Rickroll. And we'll just have to see if this how long this lasts. I think I'm cracking up. And so speaking of, oh wait, by the way, this is from fresh news from the Babylon Bee. ABC News claims story on Epstein was accidentally thrown out, then shredded into tiny pieces and incinerated. ABC News. An ABC News spokesman claims the story on Epstein they sat on for 3 years was accidentally tossed out with some old paperwork, then shredded into tiny pieces, and finally incinerated into a pile of ash. There's some kind of mix-up with the papers, said one man standing out by ABC News official incinerator. A janitor must have tossed it out while he was cleaning. Then I guess it got fed through a paper shredder somehow and fed it through a second paper shredder by mistake, and finally incinerated at 4,000 degrees. It had downloaded. These kinds of things just happen sometimes, you know, he added, shrugging. Station representatives also believe that the pile of ashes was then pulled out of the trash, stuffed into a briefcase, set inside a block of solid concrete, and dropped off the end of the dock near a seedy warehouse. ABC News assured everyone the janitor has been fired, his mop has been confiscated, and he's been tossed outside like a bag of moldy tangerines. Someone's asked me a question here. Let's see. I don't suppose you could link us that video. Oh, absolutely I could. It had downloaded but got corrupted. Oh, I had it downloaded. Yeah, here, let's go. Let me give you the link to the Die Hard. Here, here's the tweet for the Die Hard Epstein thing there. I put it in the chat. And now, so that's another one. And here's one. Oh my gosh, it's in the fortune cookies too. Confucius say Epstein didn't kill himself. Oh my gosh. That is just prophetic. Prophetic or pathetic? Prophetic. With a prophetic. Prophetic. Goodness, how did they know? And oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Now here's another famous scene. Hang on. What's happening here? Oh my gosh, is that Frodo? What's going on? Oh no, did he do it? What's happening here? Ooh. What is that one of the rings? Oh, that's right. What does it say? It's got. Did you see anything?
Nothing. There's nothing. Wait. They're remarking.
Epstein did kill himself.
Some form of Elvish. I can't read.
Oh man, people are just going wild with this. It's hilarious. I'll send you that one too. In fact, that's from Matt's Idea Shop, and that's a funny one too. Copy, and it's in the chat. There you go. Thank you, Duck Tater, for the $1 super chat via the Streamlabs link down below. They should have buried it and soft Pete for 3 months as well. And soft Pete. Okay, rewrite that in the chat so I know what that one is. So there's the Lord of the Rings version of the Epstein didn't kill himself mean. And then also, hang on a second here. I know that I have another one here in my notifications. Thank you, Sheagrath. Well, first of all, Madden, excuse me, we talked about the cat story. This is kind of funny, actually. Wait till you see this one. Thank you, Sheagraph, for this one. This is hilarious. That cat that got on the field at the Giants game with the Cowboys. Well, there's some other issues with that, and that cat kind of got in the way of the game a little bit. Here we go. And oh, the cat stole it. Whoa! Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Good God. Oh, like Pete Moss. No, I know what Pete is. Oh, but buried it and soft Pete for 3 months. They should have buried it and so. You know what? Maybe I don't know what you mean by Pete. I know what Pete is, but in fact, I know what repeat is, which I'm repeating myself. Okay, and then Sheagrath also. Thank you, Sheagrath, for that one. That's hilarious. Also, okay. Think about this is a really boomer thing of me to do. But let's think about who the boomers were, or boomers are, because there's plenty of them still around. And in fact, I am on the cusp of that boomer cutoff point. Okay, the boomers are the ones, especially the kids today who think they're so woke and they're all trying to be. They protest and they do this and they want free shit and whatever. You know what? The boomers that you complain about fucking shit up, aren't they the same boomers who you are trying to emulate with your protest and the new nostalgia, whatever? Video dead. What? Video dead? Warning. Heads up, we detected copyrighted audio in your video stream. Your stream was temporarily blocked. Oh my God. Am I back on? Am I back on? Looks like I am. Oh, good God. You know, YouTube, we've detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again. Let's see. Am I back? Oh, they blocked part of my Okay, so apparently they're a little touchy about the memes. Let's see if this thing helps here too. Am I still blinking? Yeah, this thing's still blinking, but it has an excellent connection though. Yep, it's still blinking. Oh well, whatever. I'm gonna keep going. So did you get to see the Lord of the Rings version or no? They blocked the memes. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, well, I'm sorry, gang. Pete is what they use to smoke scotch. It's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. Okay. All right. You know what? I guess that's my. I wouldn't say that's about boomer mode. I never saw a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or read it either way. So that's just me. Hello, Gilded Liberty. How you doing? Marsupial Gamer, were you here earlier? No, you weren't. Hello, good morning. And Ryan himself, I never said hi to you, but I'm saying hi to you now. And everyone else who, if I missed you, I'll figure it out soon. And Diesel Dave. Okay. All right. So much for the memes. All right, let's get into what time is it? 10:06, 9:06, 11:06 Eastern time or whatever. How about we do? Let's just go ahead and get into Twitter trends, because I'm sure I'll find a few FTGs in there, and I'm gonna skip what I had. I had some stories. Oh, you know, I do have an update on one story though. So remember the the transgender kid who was in the custody battle, or it was a custody battle between this mom and dad who were divorced in Texas, and the mom insisted the boy was transgender. Well, there is a little bit of an update as of yesterday on that story, and we're going to check that out before we get into Twitter trends. Here we go. Trans custody case. 7-year-old whose mother insists he's a girl just went to school as a boy. Did I talk about Mark Zaid? No, I didn't. I should talk about Mark Zaid too. Well, we may do that tomorrow with my guest. But we'll get Mark Zaid. If you're following the whistleblowers, now that the whistleblowers are being revealed, and the lawyer for the whistleblower, who's basically a few weeks into the presidency of Donald Trump, said, "Let the coup begin." No, we didn't talk about that yet, Marsupial Gamer. Let's talk about this kid though. Trans custody case. 7-year-old whose mother insists he's a girl just went to school as a boy. A Texas boy whose mother claimed he is a girl has attended school dressed as a boy. This supports the boy's father's claim that his son is not truly transgender, and so should not be pumped with experimental drugs that may cause his chemical castration. Last month, the Texas jury awarded the custody of a 7-year-old boy, James Younger, to his legal mother, Dr. Ann Gorgulis. Gorgulis claims her son identifies as a girl and she wants to put him on experimental drugs. The judge later ruled that Jeffrey Younger, the boy's father, and Gorgulis' ex-husband should have a say in his son's medical treatment. Governor Greg Abbott, Republican Texas, and Senator Ted Cruz, Republican Texas, have weighed in on the case, which has raised the nationwide issue of experimental transgender treatments. Friends of the father shared images of James and his brother Jude dressed as the boys they are and heading to school. Jeff emailed the principal today, and James and Jude's teachers had reported that there was zero stress or disruptions in the classroom today, just another day in school. Prayers answered. The group Save James posted on Facebook with a prayer emoji. The photos included the caption, "Going to school, this is what it looks like when James gets to choose. Affirm this." Also, a photo taken yesterday just before church, James and Jude, proud to be men. So here's them. I usually don't like showing pictures of kids on my whatever, but whatever. Gorgulis has claimed that she knew James was a girl because he liked the movie Frozen and asked for a girl's toy at McDonald's. The father claimed that Gorgulis dressed James up in dresses at the tender age of 3. Dr. Michelle Cretella, a pediatrician and executive director at the American College of Pediatricians, told PJ Media last year that Gorgulis may be suffering from a mental disorder. This case is consistent with a diagnosis of Munchausen by proxy, she said. This is a disorder in which an adult feigns either a physical or psychological condition in a child for their own subconscious reasons, the pediatrician explained. Most often, the perpetrator is the biological mother, and she often has a background in health or medicine. Well, there you go. In the case of imposing gender dysphoria on a son, there are cases in the scientific literature of severe maternal depression triggered in a mother longing for a daughter. Cretella added, the mother's depression lifts when the boy dresses and acts as a girl. This has been termed gender mourning. Regardless of Gorgulis' motivations, the intended treatments for her son would do him harm. The boy's father claims the mother sent him an email showing her intention to have the boy's genitals cut off. A rush toward chemical castration may be less gruesome, but is still terrifying. Studies have shown that between 62 and 98% of children who express gender identity opposite their biological sex will reject that transgender identity if they are allowed to develop naturally. Many cases of gender dysphoria can be traced to childhood trauma. Walt Heyer, a man who identified as a woman for 8 years and underwent sex reassignment surgery, explained that his gender dysphoria stemmed from childhood trauma from sexual abuse and being dressed as a girl by his grandmother when he was 4 years old. Transgender activists have infiltrated various bodies in the American medical establishment, giving the movement a wholly underserved patina of scientific credibility. Last week, the Pediatric Endocrine Society published a statement insisting that so-called puberty-blocking drugs are not only reversible, but also essential to the health of kids with gender euphoria, she says. Oh my God. FTG for the mom, by the way. Well, no, if she has a medical condition that just this one child's in my proxy, that's a slight mental disorder too. And I get help, ma'am, but learn that you don't want to force this on your son. And if the son is fine being a boy when he's with dad, then there must have been something. There must have been something in your brain, not his. Anyway. Michael Laidlaw, an endocrinologist based in Rockland, California, told the Christian Post that these claims are entirely false. What these medical societies have created is an institutionalized childhood pathway towards sterility, he countered. In an interview with PJ Media in August, Laidlaw explained that the political group, the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, now this is that's a weird acronym, WPATH. Sounds like they're on the warpath. Pressured its way into the guidelines for the Endocrine Society and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Yeah, it's activists in the medical community. Remember I think it was Matt Walsh was doing a thread about this, and some doctor popped in and she put in the guidelines for, what was it? She said, well, I'm a doctor and this is the science. And really all she did was put an abstract on best practices guidelines for dealing with transgender people, giving all these definitions, but there was no science in the guidelines. It was just the guidelines on how they're going to talk to people and how they're going to make people feel, right. And, if there was actual science in it, I would say, here's the actual science. But right now, it's like, and here's the thing. I don't want to disparage trans people at all. I don't. But it is, there is no science, okay, to this, other than, okay, there is social science, which sometimes is valid and sometimes is just hooky, okay? Whatever hooky is. But there is no empirical definitions other than what people feel. And so the question is, someone says you can, there are scientific and medical ways to determine someone's physiological sex, okay? And there are people who have anomalous, as in anomalies, anomalous conditions that make that determination difficult, and or anomalies in chromosomal development, right? So some people might have an extra X chromosome or 2 extra Y chromosomes or whatever. That is an anomaly to what is the normal binary of sex beating physiological sex. Anomalies don't necessarily mean that there's a spectrum. It just means there's anomalies. In most science, when you're determining the sex of animals in the animal kingdom, it refers to how they reproduce. And mammals and birds and reptiles all produce in a binary sexual way. Okay. Now there are animals out there, say for example, seahorses, which have a completely different system. Okay, the seahorses, I think they can be male or female in the same body, right? But there's no mammals. There's no birds, there's no reptiles that we know of that reproduce that way. Okay, there are male and female of each species, and there are anomalies. And I'm not just, intersex people. Being an anomaly doesn't make you any less of a person. It doesn't make you any less of someone who should have rights, blah, blah, blah. It just means that you have something different that happened to you in your development in the womb. Just like people with Down syndrome are an anomaly. There are a lot of them, but they're not the rule. They're not it's an anomaly to development. And so, now, somehow, somewhere along the way, we decided that gender and physiological sex, and I say physiological because transgender people get mad at when you say biological sex. Well, I'm a biological being. Yeah, we know that, okay? But physiologically, you are generally, unless you're one of those anomalous people, you are one or the other, okay? That it's not a binary that we're trying to do it. You're not a binary because it assaults you. Just that's what it is in physiological development. Okay, unless you're an anomaly to that normal physiological development. But now we've tried. Now we want to, and the social construct of gender, which generally coincided with your sex, your physiological sex. Suddenly we say gender is something completely different. Okay, well, in the entire existence of the world, it's generally coincided with your physiological sex. Gender was not, the whole concept of gender was something that was thought up by someone who was determining why do we call certain inanimate objects, why do we gender those things? Or in many of the language, for example, the Latin languages gender a lot of different things, it's particularly Spanish, Portuguese, French. All the language are gendered languages, meaning they have, ships are, or even in the English language, ships are referred to as she. Now, why do we gender a ship that's an inanimate object? That's what the original concept of gender was trying to talk about. And then they started applying that to people. And then they started applying it to, people, and what do those genders mean as far as roles in society? And then we started getting into, the third wave feminists, and we're saying, those gender roles need to be broken down. So now we're starting to say that, now that male who has feminine qualities that come out, are we sure that they're not just a woman? Well, physiologically, they're still a male, okay? And we've said, okay, now we're just gonna let people be what they think they are. But still, even if you think you're something, okay, live your life however you want to be and be free. But physiologically, you probably are one or the other, unless you are one of the anomalies. That was a tangent, wasn't it? Well, there's my tangent for the day. Thank you for your lesson in P-Dog's version of what the social construct of gender should be. I didn't give you an opinion. I hope I didn't. I didn't think I gave you an opinion. I just told you what's what. and if you disagree with me, hey, I would love to have this conversation. I want to have this conversation with somebody who sees that in a different way. Because I've always wanted to ask that someone who is transgender, I want to go, what does that mean to you? Okay, so you're physiologically male, but you feel like a woman, so you live as a woman. What does that mean to you? What does it mean that you feel that you're a woman? I don't know, and it's just me just not understand. I want to understand. I don't want to disparage anyone. I don't want to, I'm just curious. And if it's none of my business, then don't talk to me about it. That's fine. You're more than I'm more than happy that you don't talk to me about it. If you don't want to talk about it, that's cool. I just want to have that conversation with somebody though. And I know enough trans people online, and I'm not going to bother the person at work because that's really inappropriate at work to ask that. But I'm sure because hey, can I talk to you about your transgenderism? Nah, let's not do that. Not cool. But anyway, back to this story that I've gone ranting on about something else. So the Endocrine Society took transgender guidelines from Warpath. I'll just call it Warpath, even though it's WPath. If you look at these guidelines, they give quality of evidence markers. All the quality of evidence is low or very low, Laidlaw explained. They have no long-term studies to support what they're doing, and they talk very little about the harms. The so-called puberty blockers, which Younger's mother intends to give him, would actually give the 7-year-old boy a disease, this endocrinologist told PJ Media. I call it a development blocker. It's actually causing a disease, Laidlaw said. The disease in question is hypogonadotropic hypogonadism, which it occurs when the brain fails to send the right signal to the gonads to make the hormones necessary for development. You know, this actually happened. You know, if there's, what is her name? Is it Jade or whatever? There's a reality show of this young transgender girl who they put on these puberty blockers, and when they went to go do surgery, because she was going to finally have the gender reassignment surgery, and they couldn't initially do it because the puberty blockers blocked so much of the development of the sexual organs that they didn't have enough to work with. And I think they ended up working it out, but man, putting young kids on these things, man, really scares me. Especially the fact that kids are so influenced by the people around them. They're so influenced by praise and or wanting a relationship with people. And so if this kid sees the mom going, you know, she's giving more attention and more love because when I'm a girl than when I'm a boy, does the kid just automatically just want to please mom, and then that's what makes them want to be that? And when they start going through puberty, you're like, what the fuck? This is not me, you know? So kids don't have the mental development to be able to make decisions like that. You don't let them get tattoos at 7. You don't let them pierce their ears at 7. You don't let them start drinking alcohol at 7 because they don't have the mental capacity to deal with permanent decisions that can affect the rest of their life. They have no concept of the rest of their life. They have no concept of the implications of making such a drastic change at such a young age. And then you have parents who are out there, well, we're the really super woke parents, and we want to make sure that we let our child be what their child really is, when the child has no idea what they are. They don't know. Okay? Stop fucking with children. Anyway, all right, enough on that rant. Moving on, let's get into Twitter trends, and then I got to get out of here because it's that time, people. So let's go on to the old Twitter, click the right number of places to go, and let's see what's trending on Twitter this morning, so we can find out what people are talking about today, so that you know what people are going to be talking about later in the day and what videos you're going to be watching tomorrow. Someone brings it up. All right, starting out, it's Thursday, and guess what? Thursday Thoughts is number 1 on Twitter, as opposed to Thursday Thoughts. We have to remind you, I'm saying thoughts, not thoughts. Top in the Thursday Thoughts today, Newsbusters. Oh, Republican strategist Ana Navarro contributed cash to Kamala Harris. Oh, Republican strategist. Good for her. That's not a thought, though. That's just Newsbusters chirping about Republican strategist Ana Navarro. She's crazy. Let's see. Liberty Nation. With no sense of irony, Democrats accuse the Justice Department of conducting a politically motivated investigation to harm Trump's political opponents. This is what lack of self-awareness looks like, folks. So apparently, will Durham investigation tank impeachment effort? We'll maybe talk about this tomorrow. But I want a Thursday thought, not an article. Oh, she's definitely a thought. Yes, she is. Ana Navarro, Thursday thought. I'm sorry. Okay, here's one. Wise words. Read 1,000 books and your words will flow like a river. You know what? That is a great Thursday thought. And that reminds me, if you're if you have young children or are beginning to have young children or planning on having children or whatever in that whole realm of children, I'm going to make a recommendation. Read to your kids every day until they get tired of reading to them. That was our ritual. Even when our daughter, when she was born, before she even ever thought of talking, our routine every night was we would read to her. And this was before she could talk. Even it was just little picture books. We started reading to her every night. And for the first, probably until she was we almost told she was, I think, 10 or 11. And her brother was 2 years younger. We would read to them every night. And eventually it turned into her reading to us every night. And then eventually turned into them both reading to us every night. And we would just sit and read a book every night before they went to bed. And the development in both of my kids' language skills were incredible. Both my kids could speak at a very young age. They could speak in sentences at a very young age. Their vocabulary was amazing. And it was the best thing that we ever did for our kids. And to this day, now that they're both graduating from college and already fairly successful people in their own personal lives, I credit it to the fact that we started reading to our children before they could ever even talk. And so anyway, this is great advice. Read 1,000 books and your words will flow like a river. Hey, you'll improve your own vocabulary because when you read that much, you have to sometimes look up words for yourself. I know we did even when we were reading to our kids, like when we started reading some of the Harry Potter books and whatnot, because there was a point where we read, I think we read all but 2 of the Harry Potter books, and we would read, it would be maybe a chapter a night or whatever, and then when my daughter, my daughter could read pretty prolifically at 4 years old. Before she ever went to school, she could read very well because we also did Hooked on Phonics back then, and that was really good for teaching kids how to read words. So she was just loved it. And then my son too, probably 4 or 5 years old, he could read pretty much anything in a Harry Potter book. And sometimes they would correct us on pronunciations of things in that book, and I'd be like, "What?" Like Hermione. I didn't know that the girl in the story was called Hermione. And so we're reading this book, and she's like Hermione or something like that. And she goes, "Dad," at 4 years old, "Dad, it's Hermione." Oh, okay, thank you. How did you know that? I don't know. Anyway, all right, moving on. That was the thought of the day. I'm going to oh, wait a minute. Oh, but let me see if it's still there. Okay, it's gone. All right. Anyway, lots of fall pictures. Our fall's over in Minnesota, so I'm not going to show any more fall pictures. All right, moving on. Number 2, what triggers conservatives? Aw, how cute. And it's trending number 2. Here's the top ones. Thank you. Oh, Badger. Badger's a buddy of ours. At the top. Dear conservatives who follow me, please tell me how many of these 16 items trigger you. For me, it's 0. Sure, I dislike some of them, Obama, Clinton, Omar, AOC, and Warren, but trigger isn't the same as dislike. So this George Morris seems to think these things trigger conservatives. Obama? Well, no, he was certainly not as good as everyone else thinks he is, or some people. Trans people? Nah, not really. Gay people? No. Strong women? George, you haven't met my wife. Lady Boomer is as strong woman as I have ever met. That's what I admire about her. Women's sexuality. Huh? What? You know how popular lesbian porn is? Come on, man. Islam, atheism, Judaism. Conservatives those things trigger them? No. Radical Islam maybe, or suicide vest, but no. And Judaism and atheism, no one cares. History. Oh, really, George? Really? History triggers conservatives, huh? Huh. Do I have time to get into this? Holy shit. No, George, history doesn't trigger conservatives, but I know history triggers some liberals. Oh my goodness. Who are the ones whining about Columbus Day? It certainly wasn't the conservatives. Who, Indigenous Peoples Day. I agree that maybe we should have an Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't think it has to be on Columbus Day. But I fully support having the Indigenous Peoples Day. I think you should celebrate the people who were here. But whatever. Hillary Clinton is she's more of a joke to conservatives. Ilhan Omar, kind of. AOC, kind of. But trigger, you see, we don't get upset. We just make fun of these people. Immigrants, no. At least this particular conservative, because my family, my natural family are immigrants, butt wipe. Elizabeth Warren. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth Warren triggers conservatives? I think she makes most conservatives laugh. College, whatever. See, you're assuming no conservatives went to college, but actually there's a whole lot of conservatives at that college. They just don't let you know they're conservatives because you know what? Because conservatives trigger you, George. You know what I mean? Foreign languages. Really? I bet Russian doesn't trigger conservatives. Oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. Vegans, yes. I am triggered by vegans. Ding. Mixed couples. Have you met Lady Boomer? So, oh my gosh, and he adds to it. Oh my God. And mixed couples. Oh my God, black people. Yeah, there's a lot of. Oh my God, some of the black activists that are triggered by mixed couples. Are you kidding me? Change cities, Hollywood elites, rap music. Rap music's the most popular music in the country right now. I can't, whatever. Nike, right there, baby. Nike, I got my Nike on, brother. And I'm wearing Nike tennis shoes too. Reproductive rights, no, but just the process kind of triggering. If it's not triggering, you're not human. But I'm one of those ones who reluctantly supportive of abortion rights. It's not reproductive rights. It's not reproductive rights. You have the right to reproduce. So you're obviously triggered by the word abortion rights, George, because you're saying reproductive rights. Well, we fully support reproductive rights, right? Marijuana. Well, not the libertarians. Peaceful protesting. Oh, no. Peaceful protesting? That's just fine. Getting hit in the head with bike locks, that's a little bit triggering. Just saying. Objective news fact checking. George, if you could find me some objective news and fact checking, let's find out. But there's not a whole lot of that right now. Most of the news you see is either slanted to the right or slanted to the left, and the vast majority of it's slanted to the left. Colin Kaepernick, pornography. Well, it is No Nut November. Dreadlocks or afros? On what? Because I've seen a lot of people on the left triggered by dreadlocks and afros if the person is the wrong level of melanated capacity. Who's triggered now, bitch? Blue hair. Well, yeah, the blue hairs can get the fuck away from me. Democracy. Oh, really? Yeah, you don't realize. You realize that this socialistic utopia that you all dream of requires quite the authoritarian, would require a very authoritarian government to pull off. You realize that, George. Anyway, this is dumb. So this guy's list seems to be up there. What triggers conservatives? Little girls worried about the planet. No, we just laugh at her a little bit. Never letting them forget white Christians created the KKK. White Christian Democrats. Oh, does that trigger you? Oh, the party switched. Yeah. Yeah, white Christian Democrats. Remember that? Don't forget, that's a key word in that sentence. I'm sure the fact that the GOP men all look better as women has something to do with it. Looking sassy, Senator Kennedy. What? Whatever. Okay, so that's a hashtag today. Here's the thing though. What happened? Here's what happened. Originally, the hashtag that was trending was "What triggers liberals," and they were both trending. There was a point where they were both trending, and all of a sudden, the "What triggers liberals" was yeeted off the platform. Now it may have showed up later, but anyway, free Matt Jones. Who is Matt Jones? He's it's already been too long. Free Matt Jones. Bring up KS. What? Mitch, please. Who is? I don't know who Matt Jones is. Anyone know who Matt Jones is? Something about KSR. Kentucky branded. Lots of free Matt Jones, but I don't know. It started trend, but we got a ways to go. MC Carpenter, don't you think we should? Put Matt Jones on Facebook immediately. Got asked if I was a liberal now, and that's why we can't have nice things. Just want my radio show back, but also I believe in people's rights. I never tweet, but free Matt Jones. I'm a Republican teacher and never thought I'd hate a politician as much as Bevin, but that changed about 45 minutes ago. I knew this day might come, but caught me off guard today. Free Matt Jones. Who is Matt Jones? The first two callers into KSR today were Republicans who have stated they will never vote for Mitch McConnell. The exact thing I thought would happen. Picked a fight with the wrong dude, Mitch. Free Matt Jones. Okay, somewhere this. Let's see. This movement by Mitch McConnell is by far the dumbest move by any Kentucky politician since way back in the age of times when Matt Bevin went up against the teachers. You guys should take a look at the attack on media and free speech happening here in Kentucky from both Moscow Mitch and Amy McGrath. Free Matt Jones. What happened to this Matt Jones? Anybody know? Had a potential candidate booted off his sports talk radio show because he is simply a bigger threat. Abuse of power. The whole Matt Jones saga is ridiculous. Someone could probably... Okay, apparently McConnell had something to do with this guy getting kicked off a radio station. I have no idea. Okay, the Republican Party filing an FEC complaint is utterly ridiculous. Let's hope they retract this petty attempt to censor one of the state's best radio shows. Okay, that's something happening in Kentucky. Okay, probably not. It looks like Mitch did something, dude. Mitch McConnell's afraid of Matt's airtime, yet he's free to do what he wants. I don't even like UK until I started listening to KSR. Matt converted me. Doesn't Mitch have more to worry about than a sports radio show? So apparently the sports radio show is something about, again, something that Matt Jones... Maybe Matt Jones was shit-talking McConnell and somehow he filed a Federal Election Commission report. Okay, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, Mitch. Free speech, brother. You can't be that way. All right, moving on. Thursday motivation will skip. The View is trending. Why is The View trending? Oh, God. Oh, was that because Tulsi was on The View? Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, go find that footage of Tulsi Gabbard clapping back at Joy Behar, because Joy Behar is such a biatch. They were calling her a Russian asset and Trojan horse. So let's see what people say. I love the fact that Tulsi Gabbard went on The View and called out everyone on that show for constantly smearing her and making them look like fools. I loved every minute of this clip. This is what happened when you call out the elites to their face. It's a 4-minute clip. I don't have time for it today. But yeah. Don Jr.'s a crime. Sunny House is my law. It's not a crime. My law degree says it is. Okay, apparently Don Jr. was on The View also. Whoopi had to take a look and think about how bad she wanted her job. Okay. Okay, so apparently Donald Trump Jr. was on The View, and nobody's happy about it, but you know what? Who cares? Don Jr. is on today. Okay, there we go. I'm going to move on. So that's trending. The Apprentice is trending because Trump has talked returning to reality TV with Mark Burnett according to the Daily Beast. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's the Daily. Okay. So this is a story exclusive. Trump and Mark Burnett have been talking about post White House shows, among the idea, The Apprentice White House. This is a Daily Beast article. I will F to doubt, or what is it? X to doubt? And it's one of those stories that I'm going to wait 4 to 5 days to figure out if it's true, because one of the ideas kicked around by Burnett and the president was shooting a new version of the Trump-branded Apprentice, tentatively titled The Apprentice White House, and to produce it shortly after the president leaves office. Okay, whatever. Oh, and last fired apprentice candidate speaks out. The last apprentice candidate to be fired by... Oh, that's Lord Sugar. That's the Apprentice UK. Fuck that. I don't care. Mary Kane is trending. Runner Mary Kane, she was pressured to become thinner and thinner until her body broke down. In a video op-ed for the New York Times, Kane shared how joining the now-shuttered Nike Oregon project run by coach Alberto Salazar put unrealistic pressure on her body to the point where she developed disordered eating and considered taking her life. Yeah, high-end athletes are under a lot of pressure. Probably a very interesting story that's trending. Read about Mary Kane. Inoue, live. Noya Inoue and Nonino Donaire. Good morning and welcome to the Standard Sports live coverage of the World Boxing Super Series. Final between these two boxers is coming up. Why it's trending, I don't know. Mad to think we live in a world with Inoue and Donaire isn't pay-per-view, and Logan Paul and KSI is. Yeah, these are two professional fighters that oh my gosh, I don't care the result. This is one of Nonito Donaire's finest moments as a fighter. It was further proof of his Hall of Fameness. My admiration for him has never been greater. For Inoue, this is exactly what he needed, a dose of reality, a stern test, okay? So Inoue gets past Donaire, signs with Top Rank Boxing. Yeah, and then they have they have what's this? Those two dickheads, KSI and Logan Paul on pay-per-view. Are you kidding me? Senator Warren's trending. Oh God, what did she do? Because Senator Warren's trending because Presley, the fourth horse of the apocalypse, instead of endorsing Bernie Sanders, she endorsed Senator Warren. Black Women presents. Oh my God. Black Wixman for proud to endorse wholeheartedly Senator Warren for President of the United States. Who cares? It's nice to see that while all of the oxygen being sucked out from the room from the disastrous Cirque de Trump, some people are continuing to go about their business, making plans and collecting endorsements. Please put Senator Warren, please, Lord, See you later, C. Thomas. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the super chats. Please nominate Senator Warren. Good. We'll get to hear about her entire career of being a Native American and using it to her advantage. Chris Carter's trending. Oh, my one of my favorite receivers of all times, NFL Hall of Famer Chris Carter is no longer working for Fox Sports. Ooh. Fox Sports statement. Chris Carter is no longer with Fox Sports. There is no further comment at this time. What did Chris Carter do? What did he do? What did he do? That's like abrupt. Chris Carter's run at Fox Sports has ended. They gave Chris Carter the boot. What did he? Oh my goodness. Let's see. No fall guy for Chris Carter. Seems to be a little confusion on if Carter was fighting for more diversity on Thursday Night Football or just maybe he wasn't being used on Thursday Night Football. Either way, he isn't coming back on Fox Sports platform per this statement from Fox. Okay, I guess we're going to have to find out what Chris Carter did. Or did he just suck at Thursday Night Football? Who knows? Exadu, whatever that is, something, K-pop, fuck it. And Starbucks cup giveaway. Oh, this was I was going to talk about this at the top of the hour, and I didn't. Starbucks apparently gave away a cup today, and it looks like that. Merry Coffee, and apparently you had to get there early because they gave them away free this morning. It's a reusable cup, very, very eco-friendly. And so, but the reason I wanted to put this on is because I thought this expression about Starbucks employees today, when they are repeatedly asked, what drink do I have to buy to get a free cup? Here is your answer, people, right here.
You look at what it says on the fucking board instead of asking. You look at what it says on the fucking board instead of asking.
All right, there you go. That's the answer that they probably gave you, but I'm sure they're already out of cups by now. So don't even try and go get one now. So yeah, they're excited about their new reusable cup, and people, literally thousands of people tweeting about them getting their free Starbucks cup. And then N7 Day, I don't care what that is. Oh, wait a minute. People I know are tweeting about it. What the fuck is it? Oh, it's some game. Okay. Mass Effect something. Okay. Mass Effect's put out a game. You know what? That's it. No more. I'm done. I'm done with Twitter trends. I'm done with it all. I did have one more notification. Thank you again. Oh, that's just G Prime retweet or liking my gonna need a bigger boat. Oh, did y'all see this? Look at, okay, this is the last thing for sure. Look at this shit. All right, so this dude, okay, now, real quick, let me put a pause this. All right, now, this is a shark. I'm gonna show you the shark. Okay, I'm gonna show you the shark. Let me make this huge. All right, let's check out this shark, okay? Now, you see the shark here, right? You see the shark, and this is not the whole story yet, but you're gonna see it in a minute. Now, when I hit play, look at this shark compared to the people around this shark. Look at that! Look at that shit! And so I tweeted that with the comment, we're going to need a bigger boat. Apparently, it is the biggest great white shark ever recorded. And that dude's standing outside of his cage. What the bloody hell are you doing, dude? You are one... No, it wasn't a whale shark. That was the largest great white ever recorded. The tail fin of that great white was bigger than the dude standing outside that cage. That thing was massive. That's like the size of a semi-truck. Unbelievable. That was a great white. Yes, it was. The largest one ever seen. Amazing. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. Thanks for being here at the Morning Night Live. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And is my stream still going? Yes, it is. It's sort of going. Hit the like button like on the way out, hit share on the way out. If you want to do donations or super chats in the future, there is the Streamlabs link down below. I'm really late, so I'm just going to play the outro and say goodbye. Goodbye. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.